Good morning, people. It's actually morning. I cannot believe I'm awake and ready to film a podcast. I woke up inspired from the prophetic visions that have come to me through my dreams. And I opened my little list of podcast ideas, and the only thing out of the 60, I kid you not, 60 bullet points was love languages. So today we're gonna talk about the 5 or more love languages. I'm gonna tell you basically how I love. This is not a lecture, this is not something scientifically backed up, this is just my experience. And I don't know I want to talk about that because I'm struggling a little bit with what I have talked about on the previous episode. I don't know actually the order that this is gonna come out, but it's one of the last episodes that I'm talking about the existential burden and how anticipatory grief has gotten to me. Most people, I think, are familiar with the 5 love languages. It's physical touch, self explanatory, or not, acts of service, quality time, words of affirmation, and gift giving. But I think there are more that correlate to that. But those are the most common and the most general, and I think that they have so many nuances actually. For example, gift giving, it's also gift receiving, or is it? And physical touch is not always tightly hugging or passionately making out. It's also holding someone's finger lightly, or a kiss on the forehead, or just when you're laughing, doing that pat on the shoulder. Quality time, for example, is not always baking or cleaning together or going at a coffee shop. It's also just sitting there and talking about random stuff. Acts of service is it's not always a huge favor. Sometimes it's just, oh, I cleaned this for my friend so they don't have to do it themselves without telling them or telling them. It doesn't really matter. It's just that it can be small things or weird things, like not so noticeable things. Not actually weird. I feel like this needs an introduction because it's really important for me to clarify how I used to love because it's such a journey. I mean, most people, when they begin to socialize and form deep bonds with people, and I'm not gonna talk about only romantic relationships, I'm gonna talk about friendships and all those places that love fits. I have noticed that many people begin by just expressing love how they want to receive love actually. I was one of them. I try not to be. I was so not open-minded about that. I used to be like, yeah, I love hugging and I'm so selective about hugging. So this is what everybody wants. I mean, I grew up with a mom that was very affectionate. We used to hug every time I wanted to, and I wanted to hug pretty often. She never denied me a hug, and it's that thing that I think people do in Disneyland. Like, I have never been there. I saw that on TikTok that people dressed as Disney characters don't let go of a child when they're hugging it until the child lets go first, because you don't know how much a child needs a hug. I think deep down we're all children and we deserve that kind of hugging. I was actually scarred for life when I tried to hug a friend of my friend. I mean, I didn't really like her. We were young, so young. I mean, I'm obviously young, but we were like 12. I was hanging out with a girl that was boyish, and I felt so nicely one day because she had made me feel so happy. And I leaned in for a hug, and she was like she flinched, and I felt so disgusted. Oh my god, and so embarrassed. But I shouldn't have taken that personally, obviously, but it still hurt, like a lot, till this day. From then afterward, I always talked about, hey, we should ask people if they want a hug, and I actually ask people if they want a hug, and I read the room. Obviously, I have learned from my mistake because it was so strange to me that someone that actually has fun with me doesn't want to hug, and it felt sad. I knew that she didn't like kissing on the cheeks, and I wouldn't have kissed her because I like hugs, not particularly kisses, because I don't know, this is where I draw the line. But I really appreciate kissing like here. If a friend of mine is like grabbing my head and kissing my hair, I'm gonna be like, oh, this is so sweet. And actually, my hair always smell amazing. Like, I cannot describe you the effort they put in there. It's curl cream. I mean, nobody asked me for my hair routine, but anyway, if you wanna know, please leave a comment. I'm sounding so YouTuber right now. Oh my god. Major YouTuber vibes. I had that mishap about physical touch, and that was my lesson. Another pretty big lesson was that not everybody is going to appreciate your gifts, and I'm a big gift giver. I grew up not receiving as many gifts, and I always felt so bad about it. Like, I know that we shouldn't judge the gifts we are given, but oh my god, people in my life had been constantly, I don't know, not reading the room, not receiving the cues, I don't know. And I always used to get like weird gifts, like for example, dresses. I had major body dysmorphia. How do you? I mean, I wasn't open about it, obviously, nobody asked me about that. And I was ashamed to talk about it, but you don't gift an 11-year-old girl a dress. Like, you gift her big plushies. Like, gift her a Jellycat, okay? A big one. Splurge. I love giving people gifts. I mean, I love that. And the idea of me being remembered via my gift, my on point gift, this is actually such a lie. I just gift people what I want to be given. And I have gifted jewelry, important jewelry. I mean, not so important, but important jewelry. And I'm proud of me. And I hope I am remembered that way because nobody has gifted me jewelry. And I love jewelry. Especially, well, actually, except my earrings. Those are gifts. Again, from my aunt. Those are not actually gifts. I pulled up to my aunt's house and I was like, do you have earrings? You know, big ones, because I wear big earrings. And she was like, yeah. And I was like, okay, I lost mine. I don't know where they are. And I'm typically a very tidy person. Okay? And I lowered my ego and I was like, I'm admitting the fact that I don't know. I don't know where I put my earrings. And she was like, don't worry, babes, I got you. She didn't say that in that way because she doesn't speak English in her everyday life. But she gifted me those, and I was like, I will give you them back. I will return those things. And she was like, no, I'll keep them. And yeah, they are awesome. I'm keeping them. And for the Spotify listeners, I have awesome earrings that are silver and they are big. Like a small circle and the big one. Yeah. Go watch the YouTube version. Anyway, I have been listening to my friends when they're expressing their needs. A friend of mine is like, oh, I would like actually to buy that crayon, for example, or that blush. And it's a bit expensive, I don't really need it. I'm buying that. I am buying that. I'm splurging. I enjoy that so much. Almost, well, actually, a bit more than I enjoy buying myself stuff. It's like, yeah, obviously, I'm buying myself stuff a lot. But giving people something that they thought they could live without, but they really wanted to buy that, oh my god, it's so nice. Or if somebody expresses me that, for example, oh, I have that laptop and I have a lot of stuff there and I don't have a backup, I'm buying you that backup. I know I know those things. I don't know. As I'm speaking, I'm realizing that I don't know how to describe them because I don't know the name, because I'm not using one. A hard disk. well, whatever. I'm buying that stuff. And one thing I will never do is buy someone a random perfume. But if someone has a signature scent, I'm buying them that scent. I don't care how much it costs. And actually, I think that when it comes to perfumes, I'm the most expensive one because people just don't really care about how they smell nowadays. Except my friends, they care, but this is such a big topic for me. When I love someone, I feel like they're special, like unique, fairy like, mesmerizing, amazing, talented, brilliant. You know? I want them to have a pretty unique scent also. And I am sometimes disappointed because either they smell good, okay, but not as uniquely, or they have found their scent and it's not lasting a lot. It's pretty disappointing because I want people, my people, to smell like my people. You see, this is again a projection because we people tend to love the way we want to be loved. I would like that behavior to be reciprocated because I'm trying to love my friends and I'm also trying to love myself through my friends. I would love for a friend to just buy me something that I have wanted but not needed. I don't need that, but I would like to have that because I am one. But I don't miss that. It's not a requirement. It says something so positive. And if I have such a big problem receiving, and I feel like this is a trait for most givers. I'm such a big giver, and sometimes it's too much. It's too much when the other person doesn't want or can't reciprocate. It's so sad to not want to reciprocate. It's not that sad. I mean, it's not sad at all if you can't reciprocate. If I can give an expressive and expensive gift, then that's great, but I do not expect the same amount of money to be returned to me. Not at all. But I feel like small gestures such as a handwritten letter or just a singular flower, as I've mentioned before, it's so big for me. Like, I will definitely remember that. And I have pictures. A lot of them. That's why I also want to gift flowers. I mean, flowers are for every day and just, oh, I thought of you, and something that stays, like jewelry or a mug or whatever. A book is for something more important. I mean, I want a person to look at the book and be like, yeah, my friend gifted me that for my birthday or for Christmas or for Easter or for summer break or for breathing. No, yeah, you get the point. Just gifts have a reason and gifts don't need to have a reason. But for birthdays especially, a handwritten letter or something that stays is so important. And complimentary flowers if you're feeling like it. This was such a big lesson for me because not everyone understands that love language and not everyone misses that. The difficulty of receiving isn't always about material things. Sometimes it's about acts of service also. I used to be so awkward when someone did something for me, even a small thing. It's not necessarily bad, it's just sad. Why would I feel like I owe that person an immense favor for doing me something kind? Even though I always do something kind to the people I love. I'm actually very selective, so I'm not just spreading random acts of kindness to random people, no, but if someone I love wants something, I'm not just sitting there waiting for them to express their need. I cannot understand exactly what the other person needs, so every explanation or clarification is welcomed. But if I understand something and I can confirm it, I'm on it. And it's sad that I have struggled so much and I'm still struggling not that much to receive acts of service and acts of kindness also. Acts of kindness. This is such a good movie. Such a good movie. I wanted to talk about films so much, and I don't know if I should do that because it changes the nature of my podcast. When I'm struggling, sometimes I show it, sometimes I don't. In the same logic, if someone is struggling to accept my acts of kindness, then I wouldn't know. Sometimes acts of service isn't always something big. Sometimes it's just cleaning something like a small spot on the table for your friend to find it clean, or just washing the dishes, to let your friend rest if you're living with your friend or visiting. And something I like to do, I don't like to announce those things because I don't want the other person to acknowledge them. I just want to make their everyday life easier. And by that I mean I'm not gonna announce to you what I've done for you. If it's a big thing and I need that validation, then okay. But small things don't really need to be announced. If somebody announces them to me, I will give them the appreciation they need. It's just that I'm learning. If I do something and doesn't actually need validation because it just love the other person, I want them to have it as easy as it gets. And I'm a firm believer that life doesn't have to be difficult. I mean, we grow up thinking like life is hard, prepare for hardships and discipline, and we associate discipline with something bad even though it's not. I am being dramatic right now, but you see the logic. An example is that I love to remind people to charge their phones because I own an iPhone and my battery health is like 73%. This is bad. This is bad. I have to change my battery. Anyway, but I love reminding them. And if I can, I don't remind them. I just put their phone to charge or their AirPods or something like that. I like that about myself. And sometimes I'm telling you this because people understand when I'm doing that. There are other things that they don't understand and they're gonna be a secret. And I love that. I love taking care of the people I love when I can. And this was also hard, prioritizing that, yeah, when I can, I will do that, but it won't cross the boundaries of my self-care and my me time and my own needs. And I'm a huge introvert. I have not always had that perception about myself. And as someone with social anxiety, I really struggled with that label. No, oh my god, I'm an introvert. Yeah, I'm an introvert and I need a lot of alone time to fart in peace, to burp in peace. I'm not cutting that out. I'm gonna confess something a bit personal. I remember when I was a child, I used to apologize, for example, to my mother or other adults, and my apologies were not as easily accepted. I don't know why. I mean, I was just a child doing childish things, but that's not the point. I took that and I made it very personal, and I decided that I'm gonna be the exact opposite and I'm gonna believe people when they say something. You could easily fool me. You could easily fool me because I wanted to get fooled. For example, if somebody said they loved me, and I'm not talking about romantic interest right now, I'm talking about friendships. If somebody used to tell me that they love me, I'd be like, oh, they love me. I don't care that they are doing something to completely debunk the fact that they love me. I believe their words. And I used to expect people to be as expressive as I was, because loneliness makes you so good at expressing yourself, because you think that when somebody is going to finally come through, you have to be prepared. You have to make that easy for them to understand you because you feel so lonely. And being lonely, I have never felt as lonely as I have felt with the wrong people. When I'm alone, just making my podcast, writing my book, or a lot of other stuff, I am not as lonely, actually. And I end up not having time to socialize because I like spending time with myself. This was such a big lesson for me, and I'm so grateful for that. I used to think that, yeah, everybody has to be expressive, and I used to wait for that. I used to anticipate people being as expressive as I am, or almost. Okay, nobody can be as expressive as I am, exactly how I want them to, but they can try, they can get really close actually. So I noticed that this was absent until I met my best friend Georgia. Hi Georgia. But I have met person because I let go of that expectation to be fully met. And boom, here she was. And how does one let go of that immense expectation? By realizing that it's very simple to actually look for clues about how other people want to be loved. And when you put your heart in it, with boundaries of course, you are being rewarded because the other person feels loved if it's the right person. They reciprocate. And maybe it doesn't start from you, it can start from the other person also. It's so nice when people actually are compatible when expressing their love languages. Not anyone can be absolutely compatible. One love language will be more evident than the other, and that's normal. I mean, we have love languages, like all five of them and more. For example, gift receiving, or I have a very specific thing that is called when I'm angry, I want you to be angrier. This is something I used to do because to I wanted people to do that to me. I had a friend from elementary school, and her grandpa was not good, not a good grandpa. And I used to be like, she used to talk to me about her grandpa, and I would be like, oh, I don't like him at all. And she was like, why don't you like him? Come on, we have to be kind. And I'd be like, are you joking? I love you so much, you're so amazing, and he doesn't treat you right. I'm the type of person, if somebody makes you mad, I'm twice as mad. And I love that. I don't know exactly where this goes, probably on acts of service. No. I have an eighth or ninth love language, which is called taking photos. I was always so embarrassed to take photos of other people, and I wanted other people to take photos of me, even though I had some insecurities that I still have. They are just better now. And I used to be like, yeah, but besides that, I want to have pictures with my friends, and I used to visualize my Instagram account being filled with photos of me and my friends, like only me and my friends, not the singular photo of me alone. Those are my knees, by the way. If you're watching the YouTube version, those are my knees. And I didn't express that. I was just magically expecting for people to have a vision about me, a prophecy, an angel coming to their dreams being like, your friend wants you to take photos of them. So that never happened, and I just tried to take more photos of more people that I wanted to keep. And the funny thing, I used to think that I would just look at those photos when I'm old or sad or whatever. But I look at photos when I'm happy and when I'm thinking about someone, not when I'm sad. I don't do that whiny stuff. No. I have actually deleted photos. That was such a big step for me. I have deleted photos of old friends that I don't want to see, and let me tell you, my phone has storage for my current people. I'm so happy about that. And it was such a huge label to overcome that. No, I cherish everyone that was once in my life. No. And I'm still a good person. I am very good at taking photos of me. Well, not to brag, but I am pretty good at it. And of taking pictures of people. Like, if somebody asks for a picture, I will be the one to volunteer, and I will take it personally. I will make you satisfied. I am not gonna stop till you find your photo. Till you be this is the one. This is the one. Yeah, this is what I want, and I'm not getting paid for it. Yeah, obviously I'm not getting paid for it because nobody actually asks me to take photos. I am the one asking to take photos. This is actually sad. If somebody wants photos, even somebody I barely know, I'll be like, yeah, I'll do that. Even with my phone. This is my phone. Look at the case. It has tulips. And my boyfriend's arm. And Jasmine. Not Jasmine. I don't know what this is called, but yeah. You will see that I lied. This is not morning, okay? It's afternoon, but I woke up like 2 hours ago. It's summer. I'm unemployed. I'm afraid this episode has come to an end because I am terribly hungry and I have to eat. But before I close, I want to show you this painting. I don't know if you can see it. Please Google it. It's called The Dance on the Shore from Edvard Munch. He's an expressionist. This is obviously expressionism. I don't know if you can see that correctly. I don't know if I'm allowed to do that. I hope I am, because I'm not gatekeeping. I am telling out loud the name and the artist. But anyway, and this reminds me of love languages, because there are people dancing that appear to be women on a beautiful landscape. I mean, it's not realistic, but you can see people having fun and people holding hands, like dancing, and the title reveals that to us. The sea and the trees and the animal, like down below, it's all just quietly and loving. There is a certain peace about being met and about realizing that no, it's not actually normal to always want to be alone, and it's not normal to be always alert and have your guards up, and everybody deserves love. I know this is hard to hear for some people. It was hard for me to hear also. I hope you could bear with me because I jump from point A to point B to point F and then to point B again. I'm so sorry. It's tiring for me to edit those things also, but it's worth it. Unemployed activities. Thank you so much. I will see you again. I hope I will see you again